Hello, my name is Sibyl Harmony, and this is a video about Clare Alliance, ability to smell spirit. Yes, that's a thing. I teach people how to connect with their clairs, their clairvoyance, ability to see, hear spirit, clairaudience, ability to feel spirit, clairsentience. We all have feelings. We all have thoughts, ability to know, get a download, claircognizance. And those are the four main clairs, but there are two other clairs that you may not know about. One, Clare Augustus, which is ability to taste spirit, which means like you're reading somebody, their grandmother made chocolate cake, they love the chocolate cake, and all of a sudden you taste chocolate cake in your mouth. Okay, that's Clare Augustus. But Clare Alliance is the ability to smell spirit. And you may have this and not even be aware. A lot of clairs I had, and a lot of people do have clairs that they're not really even aware with, because it is in our innate DNA that we have, knowing that we can connect with more than just our five senses. And so, I mean, we all have feelings, we all have thoughts, we all get a song stuck in our head, audience. Okay. We all see in our dreams. We all, or maybe our eyes are drawn to a bird or a bumper sticker. So you're always being guided, and you're being guided by your will. So I teach people how to develop their skills, their intuition, so that they can guide themselves through their life. Okay. And so I have classes where I do that, and you can check those out on my website. But let's talk about Clare Alliance right now. So I remember the first time clear smelling, if it can be called. So the first time I can remember smelling a psychic, if you will, smell, would be I was sitting in a class and we were doing a healing, Yeshua healing. So we called in Yeshua. And I remember this very distinct smell. And I was like, oh my God, I'm smelling Jesus. And it smelled kind of like the essential oil, frankincense, myrrh, and sandalwood, which were used back in the time when he was here as medicines. I still use them now. I love essential oils. We'll get into that in a minute. But it was like this amazing thing to me. I'm like, oh my God, I can smell him. And so also I've had sessions with clients that have had smoke, either like I'll say, do you smoke cigarettes? Well, I haven't smoked in 10 years. And so the smell will get stuck in their aura, in their energy field. Wow. Okay. Or there's a relative, like I'm picking up a father. Did your father smoke? I'm smelling cigarette smoke. Yes, my father smoked, they'll tell me. Or maybe it wasn't my father, but it was my stepfather. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that is a way that our deceased loved ones will connect with us, sometimes through the smell of perfume, through cooking, through food smells, through smoke. I also live in an area where there were fires. In 2017, there was a lot of forest fires in this area. A lot of people got traumatized. A lot of people there was smoke. There was like a lot of smoke. And so years after that, when people would come to me, particularly if they were traumatized, the smoke would get stuck in their aura. It may have also been in their body, which is, it's hard to believe, but I have a super sensitive nose. I can smell like the people's food they eat. I can smell, particularly if they use a laundry detergent or a perfume. It's like, wow. Well, anyone can smell that, but to me, it's almost disorientating a little bit. Not disorientating in the typical way you would understand that, but my nose is off because I can't smell them. I can smell their perfume or their cologne or their laundry detergent. So I can't really tell what's going on with their body so much, because I'm being bombarded by other smells. So smoke would get stuck in people's auras. So I can tell a person's wellness by the way they smell. And I was speaking to this nurse, I was doing a reading to a nurse from Canada, and her husband passed of a heart attack. And she said, I knew he was sick because I could start to smell him. Ooh, that is a sign that a person is not well. I remember years ago, before I was doing a lot of energy work, I was just kind of meditating and dabbling around, but I wasn't really doing this work yet. And my guides, I had a dream where my guide said, you smell. And I was like, what? And so I did end up getting sick. I had, well, that's a long story. I had some stuff going on with me and I healed that stuff. But what happened was that the smell of when people are ill, that smell will get into your clothes. It may be in your house. I know this is kind of gross, sorry. But the way I got the smell out of the clothes was by washing my clothes in vinegar or 20 milliliter borax. And how I got the smell out of my body was by doing healings and changing my diet. So if you eat a lot of like fast foods or hydrogenated oils that are undigestible, like canola oil, things that your body is, if you're having digestive issues, particularly in the colon or the pancreas, it creates a smell. And so also if you have lower, and some people don't realize that, they just put on cologne, or they just, it's your own smell, so you're oblivious to it. But so also what I was it's hard to talk about this energy, I know. So but when people use chemicals like perfumes or laundry detergent, or that's quite strong, or sometimes even cleaning products, but definitely perfume and cologne, it actually, some of those products, you have to be careful about what you're picking, because some of them are carcinogenic or they have heavy metals in them. Like at my grandchildren's school, I could tell when I would go pick up the kids were almost coming around the block. I could actually smell them before they turned the corner. I'm like, wow, because they're using this detergent, which I really kind of wish people wouldn't use. And that's my own personal opinion, that it's really not good for you to have to kind of block those smells. Like a little bit of natural body odor should not be so offensive unless you're eating really unclean or you've got some health issues. Also, when there's lower energies. So energy like fear or anger, you ever notice, like if you get really stressed or fearful, sometimes you have a physical reaction. Your body starts vibrating, your face gets red, you start to sweat, or your blood pressure goes up. So also you're emitting chemical like body fluids, you start to sweat. That is connected to your emotional state. So people who are in emotional states of anger or fear can actually attract lower energies. We'll call it, oh, it could be an attachment, it could be a ghost, or just what I see as a shaman. I see beings or thought forms, you can call them, and they attach to people when they have chronic, like depression has a smell, fear has a smell, anger has a smell. So all these energies have smells to them. So it's really weird. So what can you do about that? Well, get healthy, get a healing. Sometimes like bad odors in a person's breath can be, they have resentment, and maybe they have good reason for resentment, or they want revenge. That can cause a really bad odor. And when you have that, you're much more than the physical body. You have energy, you have spirit guides, you have angels, but there are also lower energies if you're very vengeful or angry or fearful or depressed. these lower types of energies I see attach themselves to people, and they think they need a pill or therapy, and they may very well, but they also need a healing to get rid of the cause of like what caused that. It could even be from a past life or some kind of phobia. So very interesting to know that there are all these different smells. And I really don't like those things that are now being advertised, like to put it on to block so you have no smell, because if it's clogging the pores, you really want to be careful about that, because your skin is alive, the pores need to breathe. So using, lotions and products that are natural, or essential oils, if you feel like you need to cover an odor. The essential oils, I remember the first time I opened up, and you have to get a good quality one, and I'm not going to show the label on this because I'm not selling anything, but I remember the first time I opened up, like, this is lemon. Woo! Oh no, this is, yeah, lemon. Okay. Lavender, whatever. If it's a real oil and it's not cut with petroleum products, if it can be really good for you, and it doesn't clog your pores, and they have beneficial for, calming abilities or some healing abilities in oils. They were used as medicine in ancient times by our ancestors, the oils, and people have been passing that knowledge on. And many people use aromatherapy, it's called, essential oils. And so I love it. I use it to kill all kinds of things, hand sanitizer, or help me if I'm not feeling well, like rosemary. It works, it's antiviral. I'm not instead of of course, your doctor, but so having these essential oils are a really good way to create good smells and good health. I remember the first time I opened up a bottle, I see spirits. So all these little spirits came out and they were giggling and they went, it was really funny. It was like, I was like, wow, wow. Because I connect with the nature spirits really well, and they're connected to the plant spirits. And so that's part of my background, is connecting with nature spirits. And so to me, I just love them and use them a lot. And so that's a good way. If you're feeling like, well, I don't want to smell, you never spray them in your eyes. You have to, check with your doctor, make sure you don't have any allergies. Some people are allergic to certain oils, and you don't want to put it on your skin. Some oils are caustic you have to use lotion or oil. So, and you don't want to use like tea tree oil around a cat. Some people are very concerned about their pets. My pets are used to it. So you have to get people or children or people who aren't used to it, or if somebody's very toxic, you have to work very carefully with them. But it could also mask, me smelling what's going on with you if you're using essential oil. So it could mask that, even though I like them because they're good. I believe they're good for health. So another thing you can do is, if you feel like you have body odor, is check out your health, go to your doctor, get tested, or get a healing and see what's going on, with your digestion, with your emotional well-being, because emotional well-being is greatly connected to how you smell, because sadness has an odor, anger I can smell it. Sometimes you can definitely feel it, but I can also smell it, which is really weird. But so you might want to do a lot of bathing. In some cultures, people would bathe daily bathing, or I like a shower or bath before bed, because you're actually literally cleaning out your energy field when you bathe, and cleaning out on a deep level. You can do a detox bath. I love doing a detox bath. It used to be with Epsom salts, and it still is. Salt, Epsom salts, essential oils will clean out your energy field. And it used to be, and it still is, Epsom salt if you're in a place where there's clean water. If you're in a place where there's been fire retardant dropped in the water, like where I am, I use 20 mule power borax added into my bath, because it cleans your body out and gets you really clean. I love the way it makes me feel. And so the clairsentience comes in through this chakra, which is your fifth chakra. And you also have the same thing that cetaceans have that are very telepathic or clairaudient. So telepathic is hearing spirit. Clairaudient is speaking in tongues, which happens around these centers here. So your fifth chakra is a cone with a cylinder, and then a cone in the back of your neck, and then outside of the back of your neck comes a tube around your head, like cetaceans have, whales, dolphins. They're very high. Dogs can hear really, and dogs have a really heightened sense of smell. Dogs and cats, but I think particularly dogs do. And dogs are a distant cousin somehow of wolves or dolphins. Don't ask me. I'm not a scientist or a biologist, so I don't know how that connects. But so you can clear your energy. You know, an energy healer can work with this energy here, which then comes around to two chakras here, to here, and then it comes around your sinus cavity, and then down and around here, and then out the mandible. So if you look at a human skull, there are two openings right here, which are clearing centers for your sinuses and your telepathic and clairaudient centers. And then there are also two holes right here in the skull, in the jaw. So why are those there? Because they're part of our ancestors' energy systems for being able to telepath. And so this is so these are your clairaudient centers, but they're also the centers where you use obviously the sense of smell, because it's very much connected into those centers. So it's really, there are some ways that you can clear if you're congested by talking to your doctor about not doing dairy. For me, if I love eggs, but if I eat eggs, I get really congested, so I can't. There are some acupressure points you can push right here, and then massaging down here to clear sinus, or pushing here. You can breathe and use a neti pot with saline solution or salt water. I love that, doing that. Also, you have to be very careful with hot water, but if you put a pot of water and then drop a little essential oil in there, like a little rosemary or peppermint's pretty strong for most people, but it's very clearing. Eucalyptus is good. Put a few drops in there and then put a towel over your head, and very carefully, because it's hot, put your head over that and breathe in the steam. Also going in the shower and letting the water hit your sinuses, or kind of massaging around here, massaging here. You want to get this clear, like massage down here, because you want to get that clear. There are also some herbal or homeopathic remedies that I like for clearing sinuses. I don't sell those products, so these are just some of the things that I've done. And then you want to keep your home really clean and smelling good, making sure you're staying on top of the dusting. I have pets and I live in an agricultural area where there's a lot of pollen, and so I have all that. So, but I do nettle to, I have nettle plants in my backyard that help to clear allergies, but you have to do that months before the allergy season comes. And also I use local raw honey, which can be really helpful. So those are some of the things that I do, but of course you need to check with your doctor before you try any of these things. And have fun with your clairalliance. And just, I would say, if you ask, if you meditate and you ask, your abilities will open up. And not everybody has every ability, but it's kind of nice to notice, like, wow, I have this one, or I have that one. And so I've done other videos about other abilities and how to open that up for you. But just having that awareness that that knowing that, oh, that's an ability. So if you smell something, like, is that, sometimes I have to ask, like, are you cooking something on the stove? Because I'm smelling something, or is that a spiritual smell? Sometimes I really don't know if it's a real smell a real-time smell or a spiritual smell. So I have to go investigate, like, what's going on? Are you cooking? I ask a question. And so, yeah. So, I hope that you found this interesting and fun, and that just by having that intention or being aware, like, do I have this ability? That sometimes just that little shift of allowing it to come to you. And also our abilities open when we're asking, and when we're not startled or like, oh my God, this happened. When something about me, which is really weird, and I didn't realize I was doing it for years, is that these things, these miraculous things, Clare audience or Clare Alliance would happen, and I would just be like, okay, it wasn't a big deal to me until I looked back and realized, wow, that was happening. But it's almost better if you just like don't have a big attachment of trying to make something happen or trying to block it from happening. Like, oh, I don't want to smell something scary or see something scary. Usually people are afraid of seeing something scary. So when you're more relaxed about it, when you're relaxed and you're breathing and you're more receptive, that's when these things will open up for you. So it's kind of a fun thing to play with, just knowing that, maybe I could have that, maybe that could happen, or if it does happen, check it out. Okay, hope you've enjoyed this video. It really helps me if you like and subscribe and share my videos, and check out my classes on spiritual development. And I'm doing a class on angel communicating with angels, getting guidance and doing healings, angels and ascended masters, your life purpose, and manifesting. And then I have a class coming up, I believe it's in July or August, on energy healing. So check out my website, Sibyl Harmony, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for sharing, and bye for now.